Hello viewers, I Vinod Kumar Chauhan welcomes you in my YouTube channel CQ means Chauhan Coaching Classes. Today we are going to start chapter number 5, data handling. And before we start chapter, first we understood what is data and how we handle it. In your day-to-day life, you might have come across information such as runs made by a batsman in the last 10 test matches, number of wickets taken by a bowler in the last 10 ODIs, marks scored by the students of your class in the mathematics unit test, number of story books read by each of your friend, etc. The information collected in all such cases is called data. Data is usually collected in the context of a situation that we want to study. For example, a teacher may like to know the average heights of students in her class. To find this, she will write the height of all the students in her class, organize the data in a systematic manner, and then interpret it accordingly. Sometimes data is represented graphically to give a clear idea of what it represents. Do you remember the different types of graphs when we have learnt in earlier classes? Number 1, a pictorial representation of data using symbols. Now you are able to see this picture. In this picture, cars are shown. Here, one car equal to 100 cars, that shows one symbol stands for 100 cars. And suppose in July there are two full pictures of cars and one half pictures. It means one half pictures denoted half of 100. Half of 100, that is 50. So first picture showing 100, second picture is showing 100, and the half picture showing 50. So it is 100 plus 100 plus 50 gives you the 250. Now in August there are three full pictures, that shows the 300, and in September there are four full pictures of car, that shows 400. Now you are able to give some answers on the basis of this picture. The first question is, how many cars were produced in the month of July? So you are able to give the answer, that is 250. And the second question, in which month were maximum number of cars produced? That is the month of September, because in month of September there are four pictures of car, it means the 400 cars. Now the second picture, a bar graph is shown here. A bar graph is what? It is a display of information using bars of uniform width, their heights being proportional to the respective values. Here there are two axes. The horizontal axis is called the x-axis and the vertical axis is called the y-axis. On the horizontal axis, academic years are shown, and on the vertical axis, number of students in class 8 is shown. Bar heights gives the quantity for each category, and bars are of equal width with equal gaps in between. So now you are able to give the answer of some questions. The first question is, what is the information given by the bar graph? That is the information about the academic year in which how many students are there in the class 8. In year 2003-4 there are 100 students. In year 2004-5 there are 200 students in the class 8, and so many. Now the second question, in which year is the increase in the number of students maximum? So now you are able to see the bars. The more heights of bars shown, the more number of students, that is 350 in the year of 2007-8. Now the third question, in which year is the number of students maximum? And the fourth question, state whether true or false the number of students during 2005-6 is twice that of 2003-4. Now the third picture is double bar graph. You are able to see this bar graph, in which a bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously, it is useful for the comparison of the data. When you want to compare some data, you are using double bar graph. Again, there are two axes, horizontal axis and vertical axis. On the horizontal axis, subjects are shown like maths, science, social science, English, Hindi. And on the vertical axis, it is number of marks obtained by a student. When you study this type of data, some scales are there. The white square shows 2005-6 and the dark black square shows the 2006-7. The first question is, what is the information given by the double bar graph? So we are able to give the answer of this question. The information about the subjects and the marks of the obtained by the students in the different years. And the second question, in which subject has the performance improved the most? So we are again able to see from this double bar graph, the improved subject is mathematics. And the third question, in which subject has the performance deteriorated. The fourth question, in which subject is the performance 8 par? Now the next heading is organizing data. Usually data available to us is in an unorganized form called raw data. To draw meaningful inferences, we need to organize the data systematically. It is not too easy to answer the questions looking at the choices written haphazardly. We arrange the data in this table using tally marks. Now you are able to see this table in which there are three different columns. One for subject, second for tally marks, and third one for the number of students. Subject is art, and the number of students in art or art liked by 7 students, and that is shown by a tally marks, that is 5 plus 7, it is 7. Now 5 plus 2, it is 7. The number of tallies before each subject gives the number of students who like the particular subject. Mathematics is liked by the 5 students, science is liked by the 6 students, and English is liked by the 4 students. This is known as the frequency of the subject. Frequency gives the number of times that a particular entry occurs. From table, frequency of students who liked English is 4. The table made is known as frequency distribution table. An entry occurs. Now you are able to see the next table. In this table, the heading is grouping data. Grouping data means what? There are the groups of if you make a frequency distribution table for each observation, then the table would be too long. So for convenience, we make groups of observations, says 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and so on, and obtain frequency distribution of the number of observations falling in each. Data represented in this manner is said to be grouped, and the distribution obtained is called grouped frequency distribution. It helps us to draw meaningful inference like. There are 3 columns in this table: groups, tally marks, and frequency. Again, the group is what? It is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. In 0 to 10, number of frequency is 2, 10 to 20, that is 10, 20 to 30, it is 21, and so on. And it is shown by the tally marks also. Now each of the groups 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, etc. is called a class interval, upper class limit. Difference between the upper class limit and the lower class limit is called the width or size of the class interval. Now you are able to see this graph. It is bar graph with a difference. What is the difference in between this? is this graph in any way different from the bar graph which you have drawn in class 7th? Observe that here we have represented the groups of observation, that is class interval. On the horizontal axis, the height of the bars shows the frequency of the class interval. Also, there is no gap between the bars as there is no gap between the class intervals. The graphical representation of data in this manner is called a histogram. Bars of equal width with no gap in between, and height of bars gives the number of data items in a particular group and is the frequency. The range is the divided in the equal intervals of 5 years in this case. Zagged line, it is also shown here. Zagged line or broken line. Zagged line or broken line has been used along the horizontal line to indicate that we are not showing the numbers between 0 to 20. It is very important. You please do the study well.